Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of I'm a Statman. I'm joined, as always, with Andrew Dalton, aka Stats. How's things, pal?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Obviously, we're reacting to the news with the roadmap sort of out of lockdown, and fingers crossed it'll be quite positive, that hopefully things can get back to a little bit of sense of normality, because I know it's been very difficult for a lot of people over the past 14 15 months, and it's amazing to think that it will be a year in March and it's all kind of started. So fingers crossed things go back to a little bit of normality. Whether fans will be back in for that game against West Brom remains to be seen, but at least we've got a plan in place for the future, basically.
Yeah, agreed. What are your thoughts on that, actually? Just before we go on to talk about the Wolves game, do you think if everything sort of falls into plan, that there's an allowance of, I think it's about 9,000 and something allowance on Elland Road on the last day of the season?
I think from my perspective, look, everyone's going to be different. I personally want to have 10,000 fans in there. I'd rather have all or nothing. Look, everybody's different. Everyone's got a different opinion. From my perspective, I just feel that how does each football, I'm not looking at Leeds in particular, I'm looking at football as a general whole. How do each club decide which 10,000 fans get to decide which fans come back in? What about supporters turning up outside grounds? How's it policed? How's it done for stewarding? It could be a very logistical nightmare, to say the truth. And I don't know what the right and wrong answer is. For me, personally, I'd have just held off a week till the end of the Premier League season and gone ahead with like the European Championships with supporters in all being well, and what have you, and just wait, 'cause it just could be a logistical nightmare, and you can just wait till the start of next season. Because the thing is, when you go to a football game, whoever you may support, you want to be back there in 2 weeks. You don't want to be waiting 3 months. So that's the other side of it. Yeah. So look, they might have 9,500 fans in at the West Brom game. It's hard to decide which are the fans, and I'd like to be in those shoes to decide who goes to that last game of the season.
I think my only argument to that is it could be farewell to Pablo and Berra, and I think it'd be quite nice for those two certainly to have a number of fans on site, sort of saying goodbye. But yeah, look, it's going to be an administrative nightmare, not only for the club but also for everybody involved. Like you say, the catering, the stewarding, everything's got to be considered for one game, and then we don't play again for another 3.5 months. Do you know what I mean?
Personally, for me, I'd leave it till the first weekend of next season. Whether next season will start, don't know yet. It just feels to me it's a nightmare for all clubs, an administration nightmare that could decide who goes to that game. I think it's going to be practically impossible to decide. Yeah, like, do they do it based on who's had a vaccine and what have you? Do they base it on season ticket holders? Like, if you've got more than 10,000 people that have been for a vaccine, which please God there has been, how do you then decide who goes to the game?
Yeah, it's just going to be carnage. You're never going to keep everybody happy, regardless.
No.
I mean, if I was Rads and it was going ahead with a commercial head on, what I would do is sack the season tickets, sack everybody off, and just sell them at extortionate prices, 10,000 tickets, and just see the 10,000 people that want to pay to go. Do you know what I mean? And that won't go down well with a lot of people. But it's one game a season. It's a commercial. It's going to be a lot of revenue potentially to the club. But yeah, we'll see what happens anyway.
And I also think, Luke, no disrespect to West Brom, we're going to be playing a side that's most likely to be relegated.
Yeah.
I think had it been a Liverpool, a Man U, a Chelsea, a Man City, for example, it might have been people might get different feelings. But yeah, it's a shame that we're going to play a team that will be in the Championship next season, most likely.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see how Leeds respond. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll be having team meetings about it, what the best way forward it is. They're going to have to send out some directive to supporters. I personally think if they do go ahead with supporters, I think you'll be looking at corporate fans in first, because they'll be the ones that generate the most revenue.
Yeah, agreed. Look, and this is all in hindsight anyway. This might not happen. Any of those road maps don't fall on course, then they're like, well, it's impossible. If any of those dates don't fall into place, there won't be any football at Elland Road this season.
Yeah.
And it's simple
as that. Takes one, doesn't it? So,
yeah, absolutely. Anyhow, back on to the game at the weekend, Friday night. We were away at Molineux against Wolves, and yeah, funny game. Funny game. Freakish goal. Cooper could have had a hat trick. I don't think I'd ever say those words in a sentence again. But yeah, what did you make of it?
I thought we were very, very, very unlucky. I think we had the chances to win the game, or to at least get a point from the game. The goal is a freak. There's no two ways about it. One day it hits the crossbar, hits Meslier and bounces out. This time it hits the crossbar, hits Meslier and bounces in. And we still have chances after that. I'm still 50-50 with the offside, Luke, to be honest with you. Yeah. It depends which angle you look at it. It's weird because from the naked eye, and I'll be honest with you, from the naked eye, it looks like he's offside. But then when you play it back with VAR, it's very difficult to tell because Conor Curry's left back ankle might be playing him onside. But look, I thought he put a good performance in. I think somewhere along the lines that supporters are just getting a little bit nervy because Fulham beat Sheffield United on Saturday Night Football. Leeds will be absolutely fine. They probably need 2 wins to be absolutely certain to get to 38 points. And Southampton haven't been in the best of form. I know they've got a point against Chelsea on Saturday, but it's another opportunity to come up with 2 home games. Obviously, Southampton first, and then Aston Villa, what looks like to be out with Jack Grealish. It just gives Leeds an opportunity to try and get some more points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. If can't say fairer than that. I don't know if you saw the Brady and Coke episode with Simon Johnson joining us. Went into some great detail actually around the Wolves game. One of those games. It felt very much like a championship performance last season where we dominated, couldn't put the ball in the onion bag, so to speak. So that takes us forward then to Southampton tonight or tomorrow night, depending when you listen to this. Well, no, it's definitely tomorrow night, but
definitely tomorrow night. Tuesday.
When you're listening to, it's Tuesday now when we record, when this will go out. So, likely lineups. We've seen the press conference today. A couple of things to say about the press conference. First of all, just touch upon Marcelo Bielsa's comments in there. Very much sounds like we might be getting a bit more time out of Marcelo.
Yes, I think he's possibly one of the most humblest guys that you can ever meet in football. He just comes across the famous motto, started before self. He's right up Marcello's street, and what he has done for this football club has been second to none. To get, which was a mid-table championship side under Paul Heckingbottom at the back end of the 17-18 campaign, to where we are now is frankly quite unbelievable. And he's made players better, the likes of Liam Cooper, Stuart Dallas, Luke Ayling, Calvin Phillips. He's made players absolutely brilliant. And I said on Twitter that day when he does depart the football club, I hope we have him for a 4th season. I really do. It'd be interesting to see what the movements are in the transfer window. Because I do think we need a left back. We never really had a player that can be there. They can settle down in that left hand side of defence role. So yeah, it's great that talks are ongoing to hopefully have Marcello in for a 4th season at Elland Road, and something we're not used to, having a manager for 4 consecutive seasons. The last one that started 4 consecutive seasons at the football club was Howard Wilkinson, which is actually quite unheard of in Leeds United times.
Yeah, great stuff. As I say, I said the other night, I'd have Marcelo at the club forever, regardless of his performance, simply because of his humble personality and the respect he's got within the game. Other notes from that presser then. Phillips still out, along with 1 or 2 others, Rodrigo and Koch, and I think Llorente is now fit. I know he was on
the bench at Wolves. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what he now does with Llorente, because I have to admit, Cooper and Strike have been brilliant. And it'd be a brave man to drop Pascal Strike if he does. But I think he'll still be. He needs games. He still needs games, does Llorente, to get to full fitness. I'm not sure when the next 23's game is, but I'm sure he'll probably feature in that and we'll just get him up to scratch. I think it's now just a case of getting through the next few games until the international break in mid-March, and then go for sort of the last part of the season starting 2nd of April, I think it is.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of games to come up, plenty of opportunities to get some more points on the board, starting with the Southampton game this evening. And personally, I think it'll be unchanged. I can't see them making too many changes. I thought Tyler played well, to be honest with you, on Friday night.
Great performance.
Runs in behind. He was unlucky at times. So, yeah, I personally think it'll be the same 11 that started the Wolves game on Friday.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think I'd agree with that. So you may well have heard previously on Twitter and in a previous episode that we were working in unison with our friends over at Licorice Old Sports, who very kindly donated a Newells Old Boys Marcelo Bielsa #2 shirt. And Stats is here. He's very kindly going to announce the winner for us.
Yeah, it's congratulations to Bielsa Ball 2018, John. Bielsa Ball 2018. And I hope that brightens up your evening as evening starts to get a little bit longer at night as well. So congratulations, John, and I'm sure the guys will be in contact with you to sort out the prize.
Yeah, well done, John. If you just want to drop it myself, a DM at Leeds_untied, I'll get that posted out and sorted for you. All right, mate. Cheers. Well done.
Super duper.
Right then, Stats, to the most important part of the show that everybody fast forwards and skips through to just to listen to you talk about your crazy ass stats. What you got for us? What you got for us this week with regards to Southampton?
Yeah, one of 6 teams that we've played in the Premier League. Well, obviously we've played them in the Premier League in the past, but Premier League, Championship, and League One. Other teams include Norwich City, Leicester City, Brighton, and Nottingham Forest and Charlton Athletic. Our record at home to Southampton, we haven't beaten them at home in the Premier League. I know we're not playing in the Premier League for so long. Opened day the 2001-2 season when goals from Alan Smith and Lee Bowyer were the difference that day. And the thing I remember about that day is the Robin Reliant turned up in the car park at Elland Road for the worst trainer of the week, and it was belonging to Ian Hart. So, yeah, we've got an okay-ish record against the Saints. The last meeting between the two sides was in the League Cup in season 2012 to 2013. Goal scorers that night, were Michael Tong, El Hadj Diouf from about 2 yards out, and a Luciano Becchio penalty. So, yeah, we're going back a wee while. We've not played them, as I say, for so long. One of the longest gaps we've had from playing a side in all competitions, really, in Southampton. So, yeah, very much looking forward to it. Won't be an easy game. Ralph Hasenhüttl comes up against Marcelo Bielsa, I think, for the first time. So it's an opportunity for Leeds to hopefully get 3 points on the board.
Perfect. Great stuff. Thanks ever so much for that, Stats. One thing I didn't ask you earlier was for your prediction, actually, for tonight.
2-0 Leeds. I just fancy us on this evening. I really do. I think we've got an opportunity. Okay, Saints have picked up 1 point in 6. I just think Leeds, I know they've lost the last 2 games. They haven't been battered out of sight in the last 2 games. And I think they'll go on and win the game against Southampton this evening.
Smashing, yeah. I think I'm going to go 3-0. I think they're. I looked at the form table earlier since Christmas, and they're second bottom after Newcastle.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I don't see that picking up really anytime soon. So yeah, I'm going to go with 3-0 Leeds.
Fab.
Right, one more thing that we do, we've started another little feature that we've chucked on the end is 5 for both. So can you name me 5 players who've represented both Leeds and the Saints?
Rodney Wallace.
Rod Wallace, that's your one.
Raymond Wallace.
Raymond, 2.
David Prutton.
Prutton, 3. I wouldn't have got
that. Brett Ormerod.
Brett Ormerod, 4.
Here's one for you. This is for the real saddos like me out there. Leandre Griffith.
Leandre Griffith, what a lovely name.
He played about 3 minutes or so in a game against Derby in the 2004-5 season. On loan from Southampton, never seen since.
Brilliant. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, that's great stats. So we've got loads of stuff in there today. We seem to be getting longer and longer every week with the different stuff. The different stuff we keep throwing in. I do know that you've got a lot of stuff to be getting prepped and stuff. I think is it the Mrs. Girlfriend, the girlfriend's birthday?
Yeah, it's birthday tomorrow or today, is it? Depending when this goes out.
Happy birthday to Mrs. Stats.
Yeah.
Happy birthday shout out.
Regards. So yeah, very much looking forward to it all, and hopefully we can celebrate with 3 points on her birthday.
Smashing, great stuff. Well, that's it for tonight. Tomorrow morning, even whenever it goes out, I'm not sure, but that's it anyway. Thanks ever so much, as always, Andrew, for joining us. We will be probably getting back together over the weekend. When do we play Villa? Is it Saturday?
Saturday tea time.
Saturday tea time. So we'll probably get together again towards the end of the week to record another episode of I'm a Statman. Cheers, Stats.
Cheers, boy. Take care.
Okay, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm a Statman.